Here's how to get your axolotl onto a proper diet if it's been stuck on pellets. Now, worms are always the best thing that you'll be able to feed an axolotl, but it's a good idea to keep some axolotl formulated pellets as a backup in case you can't get access to worms at some point. I don't like when people rely on them though, because most axolotls will decide that that's all they want, and unfortunately, most axolotl pellets will not offer the nutrients they need unless they're having worms supplemented in there with them. And that can be a real issue if your axolotl is only accepting pellets, so let's talk about how to get them off. We're going to start real small. So you're going to get some earthworms, and then you're going to take one and blanch it in as hot of water as your fingers can deal with coming out of the tap until the worm doesn't move. And then you're going to snip that worm into pieces that are about 2 centimeters long. And then you're going to take a couple of those pieces and drop them in with some of the pellets that your axolotl is used to that you've ground up. Let them sit for a bit to soak up some of the flavor and smell, and then add them to the tank in the way that you would feed your axolotl pellets. So whether you drop them above its head or whether you leave them in there for the axolotl to sniff out, just don't leave them in there for longer than 20 minutes if they don't eat it. It doesn't seem like much right now, but the idea is to just get something in them for their digestive system to work on, and to literally just remind them what eating is and that it's something they want to be doing. Your axolotl might not accept these for the first few days, but you should still offer them. If it does accept them, they'll probably only take 1 or 2 pieces per feeding, so I would recommend doing a feeding every day. And if your axolotl's been on strike for a while and is starting to lose weight, I would recommend a couple times a day. After a week or 2 of them eating these smaller pieces, you can stop using the pellets to flavor them and just use the pieces on their own. Do that for a week, and then you can slowly start cutting those worm pieces a bit bigger. I like to add 1 centimeter on every week until they've worked up to a full worm. And then it should be smooth sailing. Just keep in mind that that was somewhat simplified. This usually turns out to be a couple month long process. If you only have 1 axolotl, it can also be a bit of a waste of worms, but it's definitely worth it. Be prepared for a couple of moments where it might feel like you've taken 2 steps forward and 1 step back, because it's very common for axolotls to get spooked by worms at this time. They might take a couple of days off for that, but do not give up. Just keep trying. And as always, if you're struggling, send me a message. I'm always happy to help.